So I kind of just wanted to take a minute and after we got back and got warmed up again, kind of take a minute and just go over some of the biggest things that really kind of were apparent to me today in the park. One thing, a guy came up to us and he was talked to him for a while and he kind of talked about how he had been a printmaker his whole life and like a calligrapher and stuff like that. And we talked to him for a while and he showed us this scrolled piece of artwork that he had, and he had used his calligraphy to beautifully write out this long message, and around it were these like beautiful flowers, books, all ornately designed and kind of covered with these beautiful pastels and gold leaf and silver leaf, and it's just beautifully designed. And he gave us this little piece of paper um, afterwards, and I just want to take a second and kind of read this paper. So it says, "This note announces our appreciation and thanks to all of you who have hearkened to the commands of our God and have come out into the parks of Washington, D.C. to the benefit of us homeless individuals. Thanks to all of you. The veins of God's grace and mercy shall be full for your foremost efforts all of these years. Thanks, Shamazuddin." And so this was just like really amazing that he, took the time to write out this message to just thank us for coming to DC, and that kind of hit me, and it was just such a sweet thing to do, and that was just amazing. And then the other thing, I was talking to a guy who was from Senegal. We were talking a little bit about soccer and stuff like that, and he apparently played on the youth national team, and so a pretty solid soccer player. And he started talking about how these people wished harm upon him, and and he was scared, and in his frightenedness, he went to the Word of God, and he took two verses and wrote them on pieces of paper and put them throughout his room, kind of as a barrier of protection, God's protection from these people. And the verse he shared with me was from Psalm 7, and it was verse 6 and 7, which says, "Arise, O Lord, in your anger. Rise up against the rage of my enemies. Awake, my God, decree justice. Let the assembled peoples gather around you. Rule over them from on high." So just kind of like this barrier of protection that God has, that he can place around his people. And that's really what this guy was asking for. And, that's kind of our prayer for these, the believers that are in D.C., because they're around all these people that may do drugs or may wish them harm, and as Paul says in Ephesians 6, when talking about the armor of God, he calls us to pray for them continuously, for protection, because they are ambassadors in change. The things of this world like wish them harm, and God says in through Paul that this life isn't going to be easy for believers, that there are going to be hardships, and that's one of our biggest prayer for the people in DC that are believers, that are less fortunate or are homeless, that they just are protected from the people that wish them harm, and will steal from them, will stab them in the shelters. It's a very dangerous situation, and so that's one of our biggest prayers. Those were just two of the big things that hit me today, in serving in the ministry today. So just wanted to share that with you guys.